This is social class.
I'm Aiden, and this is
Jared Goff.
Jared Goff. Do you think Disney portrays poor people in a negative way?
I think that Disney portrays people in a very negative way if they're poor.
And why?
So you ever seen the movie Luca where like there's like the kids and they're in the bike race and they're kind of poor and they need the money to buy the new bike because the new bike costs money and they don't have the money, so they need to win the race because they're poor.
All right, Jared Goff. Do you think that Disney movies have a lot of negative stereotypes, and why?
I believe that there are many negative stereotypes in the Disney movies because have you ever seen the movie? Have you ever seen the movie Soul? See, they try to find his soul, and that's a negative stereotype just because they're saying he doesn't have a soul yet.
In Aladdin, how does the life of Aladdin change when he becomes wealthy?
When he got wealthy, he kind of got like more money, and like he was trying to get to the princess, right? But then he lost all his money. So personally, I think if he would have not lost all his money, like if he would have invested it, and then like he could have got to the princess a little easier. But then like when he lost his money, he still eventually got there. But like he could have invested and like kept his money and not be a brokey.
I'm Aiden, this is
Mr. Aldred.
Do you think Disney portrays poor people in a negative way, and why?
And supposed to be poor, right? So I guess that right. He wants to make the wishes to be rich. So I guess that would be negative, right?
Do you think that Disney movies have a lot of negative stereotypes?
So women should be princesses and guys should be the heroes to rescue them, I think is probably a lot of the older Disney movies. So in that fact, saying that if you're a female, you have to be a princess, that's kind of really narrowing down into one specific role so I think maybe some of the later movies like Brave kind of and Frozen are trying to expand on those and make the princess also a hero and not the one saved. So maybe they are learning from their past mistakes.
Yeah. In Aladdin, how does the life of Aladdin change after he becomes wealthy?
Oh, well, he makes his wishes and he becomes wealthy, but then his wealth is taken away and then he has to earn the princess's love without the wealth. So I guess his life with wealth is technically empty because he doesn't get the thing that he is seeking, and it isn't until he is poor and then earns princess on his own merit that he becomes the prince.
Yep.
Do you think that Disney portrays poor people in a negative light? Why?
Yes, I think it depends on the movie. Like Beauty and the Beast, we see like the town at the beginning and people are kind of struggling. I think it's because of the time period and it's like a reflection of the beliefs of that time period that it was created and written.
Do you think that Disney movies have a lot of negative stereotypes, and why?
I think it depends. Funny you asked. When I was little, my mom did not let me watch Disney movies that often. I could watch it like once or twice, and then she never wanted me to get fixated because of the different stereotypes and different expectations that it can create for little children if it's like ingrained in your brain over and over again.
In the movie Aladdin, how does the life of Aladdin change after he becomes wealthy?
I think there's a perception of it changing, that you can get anything you want and there's happiness. But I don't know if that was necessarily true in the end.
Do you think that there are a lot of negative stereotypes in general in Disney movies?
Yes and no. So there's definitely stereotypical, like if you're rich, like you're not nice. Like if you're poor, you can be either really nice or not nice at all. Then there's that kind of in between. So it's kind of like 50-50.
Okay, and then How does the life of Aladdin change after he gains wealth?
His life definitely gets like way better because he married the girl he always wanted, and he got like his own like palace. So it went from like not good at all to like really really good when he got rich.
Do you think that Disney portrays poor people in a negative light?
Yeah, because like in the movie Belle, like a lot of people who like weren't like wealthy were kind of on the streets in like raggedy clothes, and they weren't like portrayed the best way, and they also had like a bad attitude towards a lot of people.
In our interviews, we concluded that Disney portrays a lot of negative stereotypes in their movies, especially in regards to social class. This connects to the functionalist perspective because in a society, people of all classes are required to make society function, and people have a certain job depending on their social class.
In Disney movies, it is constantly shown how characters are needed to have conflict in order to have society function. Like when Aladdin is stealing food because he doesn't have money, and there is a lot of conflict for power, and with the conflict perspective, power is seen as an advantage and it is needed to make society function.
Boom.
Social class also connects to the symbolic interactionist perspective because a lot of things can indicate somebody's social class just by looking at them. For example, in the beginning of Aladdin, he's dressed in kind of like ragged clothes, and then after he gains wealth, he dresses like a prince, and you can tell just by looking at him that he has power. And there are a lot of other examples of this throughout Disney movies.